we are now going to see what are the basic understanding and the basic terminologies that we are going to relate in the coming slides. So let's start with understanding. When I say unlimited wants, it is a concept in economics that refers to humans' insatiable appetite for things. We never get enough because there is always something else that we need or want. The term unlimited wants is the side of human nature that wants an infinite number of things. However, the resources that are available to get these wants are limited in nature. There are two halves of scarcity that have plays a very important role. The first one is limited resources and the second one is unlimited wants. Unlimited wants especially means the people never get enough, that there is always something else that they would like to have. When combined with limited resources, unlimited wants result in fundamental problems of scarcity. Unlimited wants, limited resources. What does it mean here? Now, what we want and need has no limit. That is, it is infinite in nature. However, what we can afford is finite. That is, it is limited. This is the basic condition of human existence. We are never completely satisfied with everything we consume. We consume a variety of goods and services, but they are never enough. In other words, there is always something else that I, you and everyone else wanted to achieve or needed. The term applies to all the socio-economic groups. Low-income groups have limited resources and their wants always exceeds those resources. However, the same happens with middle income and upper income class of people also. They never feel they have enough. The reason is very simple. Every income group resources are finite. However, the unlimited want is a feature of every human. To put it more simply, our wants and needs are infinite, but our wealth is not. These are limited in nature. The second one we are trying to understand right now is about economic problems with unlimited wants. The economic problems in terms that economists use. It states that finite resources of an economy are not enough to satisfy all our wants and needs. We also call it a central economic problems or the basic economic problems. We'll talk about it in details in the coming slides. The main question we ask when considering the economic problem is, how do we satisfy unlimited wants with the limited resources? When I say limited resources, it refers to land, labor, capital, entrepreneur ability and so on, which is again reverse, or you can say is limited in nature. As we cannot produce everything, we have to prioritize. We must decide what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. Human wants are constant and infinite, but resources to satisfy them is finite, as we have already discussed. Hence, the resources cannot exceed the amount of human and natural resources which are available. We produce things that we know people want as long as we have the resources to make them. How strong or weak demand is determines how much we charge for those things that is there. It is also determines how much we produce, that is supply. In other words, market forces, that is forces of supply and demand in the free market economy, determines the price. Let's discuss wants versus needs. Need are things without which we cannot survive. Wants are the things that we desire. However, we can survive those wants. Let's give an example. Water, food, housing, these are the example of needs. Clothing is also a need. Without food or water, we would die. We would probably die too without housing. In cold countries, we would not survive without clothing as well. A nice car, smartphone, or vacation by a beach are wants. If I don't have a nice car, I still survive, I still live. If I don't have a nice vacation, if I don't take a nice vacation or a good one, that's okay. It doesn't matter to us. Fundamental needs are the key in the function of an economic wants. However, wants are the driving forces that stimulate demand for things, that is, demand for goods and services. We can say either unlimited wants or unlimited wants and needs plays a very important role. Now, we can also see what is scarcity. Now, from that time I am using the word scarcity also. Now, let's see in details what does it mean. Our resources are limited. At any one time, we have only so much of land, so many factories, so many oils, so many people. But our wants, our desires for the things that we can produce with those resources are unlimited. We would always like more and better housing, more and better education, more and better practically everything. If our resources were also unlimited, we could say yes to each of our wants and there would be no economics. Because our resources are limited, we cannot say yes to everything. To say yes to one thing requires that we say no to another. Whether we like it or not, we must make choices. Our unlimited wants are continuously colliding with the limits of our resources, forcing us to pick some activities and to reject another. Scarcity is a condition of having to choose among alternatives. A scarce good is one for which the choice of one alternative use for the goods require that another has to be given up. Consider a parcel of land. The parcel represents us with several alternative usages. We could build a house on it, we could put a gas station on it, we could create a small park on it, we could leave the land underdeveloped in order to be able to make a decision later. Suppose we have decided the land should be used for housing. Should it be large, expensive house or several modest one? Suppose it is to be a large and expensive house. Who should live in that house? Whether I should lease it, I should rent it, or I should be myself. So these are many questions that hovers around and needs to be answered. Virtually everything is scarce. Consider the air we breathe, which is available in huge quantity at no charge to us. Could it possibly be scarce? The test of whether air is scarce is whether it has certain alternative usages. What usage can you make of an air we breathe in? We pollute it when we drive the car, heat our houses or operate our factories. In effect, one use of air is as garbage dump. We certainly need the air to breathe, but just as certainty we choose to dump garbage on it as well. Those two usages are clearly alternative to each other. The more garbage we dump in the air, the less is desirable and it is non-healthy to all of us. It will be, hence it is very important, if we decide we want to breathe clear air or a cleaner air, we must limit the activities that generates pollution. Air is a scarce good because it has alternative usages. Not all goods, however, confront us with such choices. A free goods is one for which the choices of one use does not require that we need to give up for the another. One example of a free good is gravity, isn't it? Now, there are so many free goods that are available, outer space for example, and henceforth. Now, these basic problems wherein we have to deal with unlimited wants, limited resources, etc., give rise to basic economic problems that we are going to deal in the coming slides. Now, I hope this concept is clear. Let me give you a very simple example. Suppose we as a human being, all of us is having 24 hours to be. Now, in that 24 hours, we need to allocate our time, and time can be referred to as resources in these scenarios. So, it is very important to allocate our time in such that I prioritize and make choices what best I need to do with this particular time, because I can't do everything within this 24 hours. Hence, you have to make choices as to what activity you are planning to do and how best the outcome would be. So, this is how what we have discussed so far and how best we can use our limited resources for fulfillment of our wants, and hence to get an outcome which is more desirable and which is more practical. So, there are three basic economic problems that we are going to discuss in this coming slides. Thank you.